Now we're going to dive in with how improving my efficiency in the salon when doing hand-painted nail art really dramatically changed my salon life. But in the last few videos, we talked about why nail art tutorials are not teaching anybody technique. We talked about what brushes you need to do pretty much any brush stroke for hand-painted nail art. Then we talked about the simplest trick to making sure you get consistent, even lines every single time you paint. And then we talked about the full blueprint on how to master the fundamentals of hand-painted nail art. So if you have not seen those, make sure that you check those out before you watch this one, because there are a ton of tips and tricks in there that I promise you will give you some results immediately. Okay, so I'm gonna get really personal with you guys. I fell in love with nails specifically for nail art. I always loved everything art, and nails just ended up becoming my canvas. So that's why I started competing before I even finished nail school. But what I realized when I started doing like salon clients is that I could paint these insane little mini masterpieces for all these competitions on my own time. But then when it came to the salon life, it just was not translating. Like that skill set did not translate into my salon life whatsoever. First off, my clients barely ever wanted nail art when I first started. It was rare that I got a request for even just like a solid line down the nail, and I was always just dying to do more with nails. Like I felt very unfulfilled because I wasn't getting to do what I truly loved about nails. It was always a rush to get as many clients in and out the door throughout the day as fast as possible, because the more clients, the more money. You know, these clients like never even had a chance to actually relax because you're just doing mani-pedis back to back as quickly as you can. But that's the typical salon life. That's what we tend to believe is going to give us the most amount of money. And that's always the goal, is to make sure that you're financially stable, of course. But it took me only a couple of months when I first started truly working in the industry to realize that if I wasn't doing nail art, I was not going to be happy long term in this career choice. So I started showing my clients examples of really simple nail art, things that I think that they would align with if they were, minimalist people, or, like had a very specific aesthetic. And I would just offer them a quick, cute design, but I'll take it off if you don't like it. And before you knew it, they'd be walking out of the salon with 10 of their nails full of designs, and they were doubling or tripling the cost of the manicure that they would usually be getting. And this was awesome, but it quickly made me realize how bad I was at doing nail art in this salon environment compared to when I was competing. And I had like my own time. I didn't have to rush through anything. I had the time to think through things. But in salon life, that wasn't the case. It was taking me forever to do the most simple designs, and I'd get super stressed out for my time because I feel like I would have to rush through them. Sometimes my lines would come out blurry or uneven. I would get paint somewhere on the nail that I didn't mean for it to be. My paint or my polish would get really chunky and hard to work with, and everything would just collapse into a hot mess. But other times, things would just come out really perfect and flawless, and I would have zero bumps in the road in the process, and I could just not figure out why some designs and some clients were so easy to work with, and then some were just falling apart, like crumbling as soon as I picked up the brush. So that's when I started talking to some of my nail friends and my colleagues, and I realized a lot of people were struggling with the same things. And that's when it clicked that there's got to be some sort of solution. There has to be a reason for this disconnect. As a private educator at the time, I felt really comfortable breaking down all of the elements of hand-painted nail art and studying every single bit of it. Every brush stroke, every paint, just trying to figure out what was working and what wasn't working. It's taken me 10 plus years to perfect all of these techniques, and I'm still, of course, learning every day. But once I got it ingrained in my head that there's always going to be an easier way to do something, or a more efficient way to do something, and all of a sudden, those days where I was doing 6 or 7 clients, rushing through services, getting really stressed out during the salon day, and then only walking out with enough money to feel comfortable grabbing Burger King for dinner, turned into the complete opposite. I could do a very relaxed 3 to 4 client day, walk out of there with double if not triple the amount of money that I was making prior. I didn't have to work 5 days a week anymore. I was much more financially stable in my career, and it allowed me to have more freedom to figure out all the other things that I wanted to do to fulfill my passion, which for me is teaching. But that's what we all want. We all want to make sure that we are financially stable and that we have the time to pursue all the other things in life that we want to pursue. And that's how the Master Hand-Painted Nail Art course was born, which is like the founding course of Nail Know-How. But I've done everything in my power to make sure that this course, when you're going through it, it makes you feel like I'm holding your hand with you through the course. So it's a pretty interactive course. You're definitely going to be actually painting when you're going through this course in order to see the results that you want. And that's why this is going to be such a limited class that I'm taking, because I really, again, just need to make sure that my students are getting the support that they need throughout the whole process. This is a first come, first served basis, so if you are getting interested in the Master Hand-Painted Nail Art course, again, make sure to get your name on the early bird waitlist below, and you will be able to reserve your spot and get access to the course before the public does. I will be closing the list very soon, so make sure you're on it if you're not already. In the next video coming out, I'm going to be answering all of the bunches of questions that I keep getting from you guys. It's a lot of repeat questions, so I just want to address everything there. So in the next video, I will answer all your questions, and I will see you there.